writings, and memoirs by and interviews with others. With this assistance, I have tried to confirm my memories of events. But many descriptions still rely on my ability to recall accurately words and scenes. I have tried to be honest about my own vanity, ambitions, and failures, but I will often have failed to judge myself in the way that I judge others. I can see no way, however, of entirely avoiding the risks of personal memory in reconstructing a decade of life. The alternative would be blandness, evasion, or silence. If I may not always have recorded what is true, I have not written what I know to be false. This is a highly condensed version of my experience. The first draft of this book was 220,000 words long and still covered only a fraction of the events between 2010 and 2019. I have since cut half of that material entirely. Anyone interested in my involvement as a backbencher in Libya, or the campaign for community hospitals, my speeches inside and outside the House of Commons, my arguments as a minister over Yemen policy and rewilding, my fight with the government over COVID policy, or my run as an independent to be Mayor of London, would have to get their hands on the unpublished draft. For those stories are no longer included, nor are my detailed attempts to analyse Boris Johnson, populism, the hope for the centre ground, or the place of ethics in politics. I left politics with a deep love for my constituency, respect and admiration for the intelligence, competence, imagination and courage of many of my colleagues, and enduring friendships. But my final sense is one of shame, and my regret is often not about my openness, but about not being able to be more forceful in my condemnation. Prologue. We are seated on unstable cream leather bar stools, arranged in a shallow curve. The slogan, "Our next Prime Minister," is printed on the floor. There is no live audience, nor any room for one on this narrow studio stage. A wall, however, is occupied by a giant screen on which citizens will appear. 5 men, 1 job, says the presenter, Emily Maitlis, to one of the cameras. She is dressed in imperial purple. How they answer tonight will help decide who will become your next Prime Minister. It is the 18th of June, 2019. One of us will be Prime Minister on the 24th of July. "I hope," murmurs Boris Johnson, settling into his seat, "that this is not all going to be about Brexit." "No," says the presenter reassuringly. "We will keep the Brexit section short." "Oh, wait a second," I interrupt from across the room. "I hope we're going to have a lot on Brexit." "Don't worry, Rory, we'll have quite enough, I think." Behind us flicker fragmentary images of 10 Downing Street with cubist glimpses of Parliament and Big Ben through oddly shaped windows. We are live. One camera is zoomed in tight. Another shows us all, making us seem, with our legs coyly looped over the footrests of the bar stools, like diminutive nightclub crooners. The cameras do not reveal how easy it would be to fall. Since the shot will hover on each of us in turn for a few long seconds, we have had to choose an expression to hold. Jeremy Hunt, the Foreign Secretary, 4 inches taller than the rest of us, and the only one good-looking enough to pass as an American politician, has apparently opted for noble determination. It's perhaps the look his father, the Admiral, adopted on the quarterdeck. Michael Gove, the Environment Secretary, 2 seats to my right, who might be the cleverest of us, and certainly the most excessively polite and right-wing, has one side of his mouth pulled up in a smirk, making him resemble a grammar school master presented with a comical error in Latin composition. Sajid Javid, the Home Secretary, the most likeable of us.